Hello, Communication 212. I'm going to go over a few of the common errors I've been finding in some of your writing. Now, first of all, verb tenses. They have three primary verb tenses and three secondary verb tenses. The primary ones are present, past, and future. And within those, you'll have a simple, a perfect, or a progressive form. Now, a lot of you are using the present perfect when you need to be using the simple past. Now, the present perfect links the present and the past. Your time of action is before now, but it is not specified. Here are a few examples of when you can use the present perfect. If you're describing an action or situation that started in the past and continues in the present. For example, I have lived in Lafayette since 2011, and I still do. Also, when an action is performed during a period continuing in the present. So if she has been to the movies twice this week, the week is not over yet. She has the possibility of going again. A repeated action in an unspecified period between the past and now. We have visited Portugal several times. And here's a quick comparison so you can see the difference between them. As you can see, if you say, I have lived in Lyon, there's an unspecified time. If I lived in Lyon in 1989, we know exactly when you lived there. Same thing with Thai food. If they ate Thai food last night, we know exactly when they did it. If they have eaten Thai food, we have no idea when that happened. Now, the articles a, an, and the all modify nouns. The is a definite article. A and an are indefinite. And for example, if you say, let's read the book, I mean a specific book, as in your textbook or whatever book we're reading. If I say, let's read a book, I mean we can pick whatever book. It isn't a specified one. Now, the articles a and an are a little tricky sometimes about which one you should use. Use a if it's a singular noun beginning with a consonant or with a consonant sound. So a user is still preceded by a instead of an because the sound user has that consonant y. So a university, a unicycle, all of those are going to be a instead of an. You would also use a if you're starting with a pronounced H. So a horse, a hospital. You would use an if it's going to be an followed by a singular noun beginning with a vowel. So an elephant, an egg, an apple. It's also an if it's a noun with a silent H. So an hour, not a hour. Now, another thing is both incomplete sentences and run-on sentences. First, let's look at incomplete sentences. So you want to test your sentence for completeness. First question, is there a verb? Then, if there is a verb, is there a subject? Yes. Is the word group merely a subordinate clause or phrase? If the answer is no, then it is a sentence. Now, you can use this chart to figure out whether or not something is a fragment. If you need to do anything else to it, for example, when you have a subordinate clause or phrase, it needs to be paired with an independent clause. So it needs to be paired with a complete sentence. And also, of course, run-on sentences. Here's a quick way to recognize if something is a run-on sentence. Does the sentence contain two independent clauses, word groups that can be punctuated as sentences? Let's say yes. Are the clauses joined with a comma and a coordinating conjunction? So coordinating conjunctions and, but, or, nor, for, set, so, or yet? No. Are the clauses joined with a semicolon or a colon or a dash? If the answer is still no, then you need to revise. It is a comma splice or a fused sentence. Comma splices are when you try to put two independent clauses together with only a comma and no coordinating conjunction. A fused sentence is when you don't have any kind of punctuation and you're just letting it ride. I've found a lot more of those for most of you. Please read your sentences out loud, look at them, check your punctuation. If you have questions, look in your AP style guide. It has a lot of information about punctuation. And a few other corrections. Lastly is not a word. You would use last or finally. Apostrophe only for possessive nouns ending in S. So if it's a proper noun, Smiths, if the last name is Smiths with an S, then you would end it with an apostrophe. If it's Smiths, if the last name is Smith, then it would be apostrophe S. If you're talking about girls' toys, but it's a large group of girls, then it's only an apostrophe. If it's one girl, apostrophe S. Farther and further, farther refers to physical distance. He walked farther into the woods. Further refers to an extension of time or degree. She will look further into the mystery. He will further his career, stuff like that. Clear pronoun references. Now, some of you have a little ambiguity in your sentences about where the pronoun refers. So here are a couple of examples with corrections. Sometimes a list of ways to save energy is included with the gas bill, for example, and instead of they suggest, because if we say they suggest, who's suggesting this? We have no idea. The gas company suggests setting a moderate temperature for the hot water heater. The other is in the encyclopedia, it states. So instead of kind of doubling down on references right there, we'll eliminate it. And instead of starting with a prepositional phrase, we'll start with the actual subject, which is the encyclopedia. So the encyclopedia states that male moths can smell female moths from several miles away. And that would also reduce the number of prepositional phrases I've seen starting sentences. Now, here's a checklist whenever you're ready to submit your work. First, read it out loud, then have a friend proofread it. Try to have a fresh set of eyes on it. If you don't have anyone you can ask, step away for a minute, give yourself enough time to have some distance so you can come back to it and look at it again and review it and see if you find anything unusual. Check your APA references section formatting. I do realize with the previous example, I did write resources. I apologize. It is references. Say references. Separate your references from the other part of your work by inserting a page break. I don't know all of the formatting specifics, but if you go into Google Docs, press Control Enter, and that will insert a page break. Check AP style formatting, review all of your punctuation, the spelling of words, review your sentence structures. All of those things can be checked in AP style. Include your name, class section, assignment name, and date submitted at the top of your work. When I'm reviewing these, I have a lot of them named chapter 4, chapter 3, whatever. It helps a lot if I have all of your information at the top of your page. Now, when you go to Moodle, upload your document, click the submit button, and then review and make sure your submission is complete. I did notice a lot of people having trouble with submitting draft versions and then submitting a final version. So I'm not having that option anymore. When you click it, click submit, and everything should be sent straight to me. All right. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Please reach out to me, email me, post in the Q&A forum. I know a lot of you are just emailing me directly about things. I think a lot of the questions you're asking are great, but I think it would be better for everyone in the class if we use the Q&A forum and actually look at different requests and suggestions together. All right. Good luck, guys.